Hello everyone, this is Talk for Glory, episode 243. We are maybe like 10-15 hours removed off of the closing out party of the hottest party of the summer, that being SummerSlam. You guys are about, like 5 hours away from Monday Night Raw? I'm not going to say all the time zone differences. And I've already done predictions on other shows in the summer. So the only thing that matters in this moment, in this light, on this live, is talking about the hottest party of the summer, that being SummerSlam. And as you guys already know, where there's wrestling, where there's a podcast, where there's reviews, there is Talk for Glory. And with all that being said, you guys already know I'm your host, and then before, it's the day after SummerSlam. So what do? I'm here to give you SummerSlam 2025 review. And just to give you guys the heads up, it's not the full it's not the full show. It's mostly night 2 and then like the main event of night 1. I won't even try and hide it. I did not care about night 1 in the slightest. Nowhere near, actually. If I could even be direct with you guys, I actually couldn't give a single fuck about night 1. Minus the main event. So, for the most part, welcome to the review where we talk about mostly night 2. To kick us off, it's going to be with a ladder match, a TLC match. For some reason, on the way to the stadium, I thought to myself, oh, it's going to be a ladder match. No, it's a TLC. So it is so good to see that we had TLC veterans such as the Hardys, the Dudleys. No Edge and Christian, sadly, but it's okay. But I'm still happy we got to see them. I uploaded a lot of entrances, moments. So I hope many of you guys enjoyed Talk for Glory, whether it be for WWE or New Japan or Stardom or AEW. I hope you guys enjoy every time entrances come out. But I hope, most importantly, you enjoyed the hell out of this ladder match, because this was highlight after highlight after highlight after highlight. Guys, we had teams such as the Wyatt Six, Andrade and Rey Fenix, Fraxium, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Street Profits, and DIY. I can't even lie about who was the MVP. To me, it was Montez Ford. This dude, whether at this point we're talking about one moment, guys. Okay, I'm back. Apologies for that minor inconvenience. But yeah, this match was awesome. The MVP, hands down, had to be Montez Ford, but it also was Nathan Frazier, who myself and Smoove. Actually, I'll say this. I'll give credit where credit is due. Let me introduce them properly as BTBC's Tag Team of the Year for 2024, Fraxium. I see why for them that they were Tag Team of the Year. Hell, maybe they might be Tag Team of the Year for Talk for Glory. But Nathan Frazier is a goddamn highlight. I forgot who said it, but they said that Nathan Frazier is basically Seth Rollins if he never got injured. So we are looking at 100% no damaged knees Seth Rollins, and we are looking at that in Nathan Frazier. Fraxium, honestly, would be killer against the likes of, like, let's say, Paul London and Brian Kendrick. What's up, Lee? What's up, Weeb? But yeah, so to see Fraxium like just pop off like how they normally did, just smile, just a giant smile on my face. To see Motor City Machine Guns live for me personally the second time, and for Smoove the first time, but the fact that myself and Smoove, who grew up as TNA guys, to see the likes of AJ Styles, to see the likes of Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley in the WWE, it was awesome. Speaking of awesome, Chris Sabin acts like he's never gotten injured a day in his life. Alex Shelley is fucking phenomenal. That dude is awesome. So the Motor City Machine Guns might go down in history as now one of the greatest tag teams, if they weren't already. If they're not in the talks for who's your top 5, top 10 greatest tag teams, maybe reevaluate your list. The Wyatt Six, I'm not gonna lie, were kind of the downside of this match. Because while everyone's popping off, Andrade was popping off. Ray Phoenix was popping off. Fucking DIY, who are at this point basically masters of the ladder of the TLC match, were popping off. But the Wyatt Six were kind of just like, it's like someone told them, all right, so everyone else is going to do cool stuff, and then at the very end, you guys are going to retain. Like, I'll even say Candice LeRae going through that ladder was fucking amazing. Honestly, Candice LeRae, being the good wife that she is, climbing the ladder, trying to get the tag titles for DIY, only to get pushed off, and then going through a ladder, badass. And Johnny Gargano pulling a reverse, not reverse, Johnny Gargano choosing between win the match, check on my wife. I'm happy that he chose the titles. I know that sounds crazy, but you got to think, what would Candice would have wanted? And what Candice would have wanted while going through that ladder would have been grab the titles. So, Johnny, you're a good man, but you're a smarter man for choosing the titles in this moment. And again, the Wyatt Six were kind of like the downside of this. It sucks because I liked Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan coming down to the ring, putting in their 2 cents. Nikki Cross, she looked demonic going down to the ring. But beyond and end all, the Wyatt Six are the ones that grabbed the W here. Now let's see who can truly stop them, because it looks like they have nothing but the numbers advantage. Who can stop the Wyatt Six? You guys can probably comment that, who you think is the top tag team to stop them. Next, let's go in and talk about the United States Championship, featuring defending champion Solo Sikoa versus the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Okay. So, one of the things I thought about in this match was they can't fuck this up. All you need to do is just basically be a street fight in a cage. Which is why, to a certain level, I kind of do think about why doesn't WWE do underground matches like NXT does? I wouldn't mind Solo versus Jacob in an underground match. That actually sounds pretty cool. Or if you're someone that knows about the other terms, a blood sport match. That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, I wouldn't have minded that. This steel cage thing, which I have told multiple people that I hate steel cage matches because it forces me to. Johnny did worse to Candice in the indie, so he knew she was fine. You're right. You're right, Weave. Um, so how I feel about steel cage matches is just scrap the whole thing as a whole. Honestly, I would be fine if instead of steel cage, just make it Hell in a Cell, because there are too many times in too many steel cage matches where like it's so obvious someone can climb the ropes. I mean, yeah, climb the ropes, scale the cage, and easily get the W. And if not that, then there are times where they can go through the door just as easily. And just watching that whole match, I'm just like, Jacob, you have beaten Solo down multiple times. I get it. You want your get back, but you know what else you want? You want the US title back. So can you imagine if you beat up Solo, win the title, go back in the cage and beat up Solo some more? It's just steel cage matches demand me to not use common sense. But that's my personal gripe with it. Overall, match was fine. After match was pretty cool. Honestly, I laughed when Solo God. I'm just say all the God. Well, minus Tamatanga. So God minus Tamatanga and Jeff Cobb were all like just beating up Solo, and then Jimmy came out. Not Solo. When they were all beating up Jacob, and then Jimmy came out, and then everyone's like chanting for Jay. And the only thing I could think about was, you guys really think that Jay is going to go back into this bloodline shit? Like, why would he want to do that? What good reason does Jay Uso have to, one, save his brother that is a SmackDown guy, two, inject himself in problems that Jacob himself basically got himself into, and three, most importantly, why would he want to do anything bloodline related? And then it's like, by proxy, you might get Roman back in this, but then that just means everything from January was kind of a waste. And I genuinely, wholeheartedly don't believe that we're gonna get like the Tongans and Jeff Cobb and Solo versus now. Yeah, I guess the original Bloodline, and then imagine you try and get Sammy in this again. Like it would literally just be a whole bunch of rehashes. Like, hey, we already did this, and it looks like it's still not done. But highlight for me, it was uploaded here on the Talk Floor YouTube. The the moonsault that Jacob did, it was pretty badass. The people behind me were like just going off. They're like, holy shit. And I was one of the people that when Jeff Cobb came to WWE, a good friend of mine, we have a lot of fantasy bookings. We talked about like, oh, it's going to be a good match, Jacob Fatu versus Jeff Cobb. And for some reason, when I saw Jeff Cobb and Jacob Fatu in that cage together, I thought, why couldn't this be that match? Why couldn't, before we get Solo, imagine we would have gotten Jeff Cobb versus Jacob Fatu. Maybe for the US title, maybe in a regular match. But just imagine if we got that match. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I remember Smoove telling me, like, oh, wow, like they've really got Jeff Cobb doing nothing. And that Smoove tries to see Jeff Cobb in a different space. Like, this is JC Mateo to him. Like, Jeff Cobb is actually great, but to me, it's like the person Jeff Cobb in WWE is a bum. He sucks. What happened to my Imperial unit? And also, what the hell happened to Jimmy? Dude got big booted in the next week, and then Jacob got beat up, and then after the match, then Jimmy finally came back to life. But be on and end all, congratulations, Solo Sikoa, retaining the U.S. title. Who can stop Solo and God plus Jeff Cobb? I don't know. Honestly, maybe they should have won at War Games. Just me, though. Just me. Now, for the main event, whoops, not main event. Now for some intercontinental action, because we ain't having the U.S. title here for some reason. In a no-holds-barred match, it is Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental Championship, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And how do I say this? Because as you guys already know, with Talk for Glory, card order is not the same as you saw on TV. Talk for Glory's card order is very different. So this match came up after the ladder match and the women's triple threat match. So I can understand if everyone's energy was a bit low. Like, we just finished screaming over 2 top-tier matches. But this match was fun. It was good. I had my gripes. So similar to the steel cage match, I have to also talk about this. I hate handcuff / zip tied spots in wrestling. Why is that? Because it's too easy. There should be physically no way for you to lose a match with the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, hell, maybe even 2 minutes. Your opponent is handcuffed or zip tied. The moment Becky Becky Lynch debuted a new theme song, also uploaded that, doing a lot of cheap plugs here. The moment Becky zip tied Lyra, a million scenarios went in my head where I thought, oh wow, Becky can win in about 30 seconds. First one was, okay, now that Lyra's zip tied, all you got to do now is get her in a chokehold. Like, I doubt, 1, she can block. 2, it's not like she can get herself out of it. And 3, it's not like the ref can stop you. So a stoppage can be a thing. Another one that immediately went in my head was, Becky, spam the manhandle slam. Like, just spam it like a 2K character. Like, there were just so many outcomes. I thought, wow, Lyra is zip tied. Becky has the advantage. But I will say, I did love seeing Lyra zip tied and then draped over the ring post, and then Becky hitting Lyra with the kendo stick. It reminded me of John Cena versus Randy Orton. I believe it was Breaking Point in an I Quit match. Which that's another thing. I told Smoove that maybe Lyra versus Becky should have been an I Quit match. Like, just really just symbolize, like, hey, if you lose, like, you can't challenge me. I really would have preferred that. But this match was brutal. If you just ignore the zip tie spot, I saw people either getting up, which is crazy for a Becky Lynch match. I saw people start doing the wave. Honestly, that got a good chuckle out of me. But, Bayley comes out to quote-unquote save Lyra. But then she ended up costing her the win, the championship. And now Lyra can no longer challenge Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And as much as it's funny, we've never seen like a horsewomen like faction. It's always funny how no matter what, we will always get like a tag team horsewoman variant. We've had Becky Charlotte. We've had I remember. Yeah, Becky Charlotte as they were called Fire and Ice. We've had Becky and we've had I'm trying to remember, did we have Becky Bailey? I don't think so. But we've had Sasha and Bailey as Hug and Boss Connection. But never like the full four horsewomen. And it's just funny to see that. You would think these four women who have a name would probably team just once, like all four of them. But you guys let me know, is that a possibility in the future, whether Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, whatever the hell you guys want to call her, ever comes back to WWE? Is there a future where the horsewomen all unite together and take over WWE? But Becky, congratulations on the retaining and your new theme song. Who's next to be dropped by the man? Next match is now for the Men's Intercontinental Championship, featuring Dominic Mysterio and the phenomenal AJ Styles. This match was cool. AJ, for some reason, does not get old. And by that, I mean, yes, he's not moving like X Division AJ, and he's not moving like New Japan AJ, but you never get that sense of, man, AJ might be washed. The people that always say that AJ Styles might be washed, AJ pulls out a banger and then he shuts everyone up. I'm not going to say this was 5 stars or anything, but the fact that AJ Styles can have a good match on any random day, the idea of like AJ Styles being Intercontinental Champion was great, but it looks like Dom needs to be a double champion because in the year 2020, who isn't a double champ at this point? So maybe with this win over the veteran, the legend, AJ Styles, Dominic Mysterio goes on to AAA and he becomes AAA World Champion? Who knows? Maybe that's in the cards. I will say, though, I love the boot coming off of Dom's spot. But I do have to admit, was not the biggest fan of not seeing AJ try to pull out a Styles Clash. I think he tried going for a phenomenal form, but for the most part, he's just spamming the calf crusher. But yeah, really would have appreciated seeing that Styles Clash. But congratulations, Dom, on retaining. Next is for the Women's World Championship. It is defending champion Naomi, Tough for Glory's 2023 Women's Wrestler of the Year, Rhea Bloody Ripley, versus Tough for Glory's 2020 Women's Wrestler of the Year, the Genius, the Queen, Io Sky. With the winner being Naomi, which I'm not all that mad about. I am nowhere near mad that Naomi won. Because honestly, I think the main event scene needs more people. And I'm so happy Rhea Ripley got pinned too. One of my biggest fears was Io getting pinned. And I know a lot of people, myself included, want the clear-cut winner between Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky. Which is why, me personally, I actually, little prediction spoiler for 2026. I know, crazy to look that far ahead. But I actually have Stephanie Vaquer being women's champion by that point, and maybe Io Sky winning the Rumble. But let's see if it's all in the cards. But this match was awesome. I enjoyed Rhea being absolutely dominant. I enjoyed Naomi being the tactical heel, and I enjoyed Io just straight up. Being Io, just flying around the ring, being the best she can. Dare I say, if it weren't for the fact that Io had less matches as champion, Io Sky, which she kind of is, like she's a top 5 at number 5 right now for me. but she would be maybe top 2 indie talks for Talk for Glory Women's Wrestler of the Year. Because if you guys want a small rundown of who are some strong possibilities for Talk for Glory's Women's Wrestler of the Year right now we've got the likes of Mercedes Moné, Toni Storm, Athena, Io Sky, Saya Kamitani, Mayu Iwatani. To a certain level, I will admit, wow, now I'm forgetting her name. Sorry. So just a small list. But speaking of list, I need you guys to be voting on the Talk for Glory Google Doc for your Wrestler of the Year. We're going to be looking at those votes. The link is in the description. I have messaged many of you. I'm in many of your Discords. I'm in some of your group chats. Remember, guys, to drop those votes. But yeah, back to this match. Being there live made me just really appreciate the work that all the women were doing. Smoove, like his eyes were glued on the match as well. And again, I really just thought to myself, damn, if only Io wrestled more this year. Accomplishments are one thing, but we enjoy consistency as well. But in the end, consistent or not, brutal or not, the smartest wrestler in that match, Naomi, retains her championship. Now she goes on to clash at, I think it's Paris. Someone correct me. Now it's Naomi versus Stephanie Vaquer. And I can't wait to see that match. I love out of the US shows. And who knows, maybe we might just get, at that point, the loudest devil's kiss that we've heard in a long time. And who knows, maybe Booker T will be on commentary for that. But congratulations, Naomi, on retaining the Women's World Championship. But we're not done talking about the World Championships. Because now, for the World Championship, Men's World Championship, it is the ring general Gunther, defending champ, versus what some people still think is the best in the world. Some people think he's washed. Me personally, I just think he's old. It is CM Punk. I'm not going to say this was a technical wrestling classic, but I will say this. Gunther made Punk work. And Punk showed his best too. And I loved every second of the match outside of, the couple times like they went outside the ring. I don't know. For some reason, that kind of felt like they were just stalling for time. But seeing Gunther try to kind of play like the mat game with Punk, but then when it came to getting back up, Gunther just made him regret it. It was almost as though Gunther made Punk have no way out between we can play the ground game or we can play the standing game. But Punk, in his moments of luck and versatile, dude came out and got the win. I'm happy he didn't make Gunther tap out though. I'm happy about that. That kind of would have been wild though. I don't need Gunther like now having a track record of tapping out. So now we have a new world champion in CM Punk for about 5 minutes and some change, because now we talk about Seth Rollins cashing in. And I got to say it, damn, it felt good watching Punk get cashed in on. The Jeff Hardy fan in me was smiling. The Drew fan in me was smiling. We were like, finally, vengeance, vindication. Me personally, I believe that there is a mandatory spiritual rule in WWE. If you ever cash in on someone, you are bound to get cashed in on. And CM Punk has cashed in twice, and he's been cashed in on twice. So call it cosmic wrestling karma. He got cashed in on by Del Rio. That was payback for when he cashed in on Edge. And then this one, it took years, but we finally got him. Jeff got his vengeance. Thank you, Seth Rollins, for avenging Jeff Hardy getting cashed in on. Seth comes out, knee brace, crutches, all that, giving the warning. The real question is, how long was that warning? You know, some people appreciate a good 2 weeks notice. Unfortunately, though, Punk got a 5-minute warning. Because when the crutches dropped and the knee brace came off, the only thing that both men thought about was, through Seth's mind was, I'm going to beat his ass. Through Punk's mind, he's about to beat my ass. And that's exactly what happened. Briefcase shots, elbows, punches, a cash-in, a stomp, a new world champion. Congratulations, Seth Rollins, on becoming the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. All right, guys, so we're about to hit the main event, guys. So you guys already know the bit. Some of you guys have it memorized. Some of you guys have the what's going to come up on the screen memorized, and I love that. It's honestly the funniest thing for me. But let's see if I can get that right. Whoops. That wasn't right. But as you guys already know, when we hit the main event scene, guys, we like to remind you guys where you guys can find Talk for Glory. And honestly, where you guys can find us, all you got to do is make sure to follow the socials. One on his Twitch. And then if you guys are gamers as well, make sure you guys follow Talk for Glory or add Talk for Glory on Xbox. Smoove A1 is his gamer tag. Space out the Smoove and A1, and then no spaces at all. Enigma V4. But that's only if you guys have Xbox. We're not on P5. And then remember, guys, not just on YouTube, but also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Again, where there's a podcast, there is Talk for Glory. So make sure you guys just follow us wherever you guys can find us. Who knows? Maybe the next show, I don't know. But maybe the next big show has a collab. And maybe we got to add some people's socials in as well. But now we talk about the main event. For the undisputed WWE Championship. It is his last SummerSlam ever. The never-seen 17-time champion, the greatest of all time, defending WWE Champion John Cena versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, with the winner being Cody. Also, this was a street fight. I also forgot to put that in, but you guys know how I feel about street fights. If it's a street fight, you come out in street attire. I was okay that this one had wrestling attire. You know, we have our exceptions. But this match, it had me. It had me on the edge of my seat. It had Smoove on the edge of his seat because I was one of the guys praying for Cody to turn heel. If you guys have me on Twitter, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. Wait a minute. There we go. There's the cheap plugs. If you guys have me on Twitter, you guys see that I posted Cody Rhodes turning heel and low blowing Jay Lethal saying we need this Cody Rhodes. And I wondered if we would get that Cody Rhodes. Unfortunately, we didn't. But what we did was we got a finisher fest. We got a John Cena using the conveyor belt to go up the ramp. We got John Cena pulling out every AA in the book. We got one on the ramp. We got one through a table. We got one off the turnbuckle. We got one in the ring. We got one out the ring. We got crossroads everywhere. I was at a point where I just thought, okay, there's only one way that Cody can win this. He has to hit John Cena with the WWE Championship. That is the only logical way for Cody to win this. Even if it's not to be a heel, I would have loved to see Cody win by giving John Cena what I like to call the title shot, and then winning, and John Cena understanding, okay, that was kind of funny. You know, you got your payback, you got your championship, GG's. But no. At the very end, Cody Rhodes gives the salute, hits the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWE champion, and his name is Cody Rhodes. The crowd, so many emotions. Boos were raining. Boos were actually raining the whole goddamn match. There was even a section that was screaming, "Fuck you, Cody." Really, again, bringing me back to those ROH days. And it really makes me go, Cody, you need to turn heel. Be the heel I know you can be. Be the heel I saw you when you were in Legacy. Be the heel I saw you when you were dashing. Be the heel I saw you when you were undashing. Be the heel when I saw you were, I guess, Stardust. Be the heel that almost killed Bullet Club. Be the heel that quoted, Bullet Club is fine. Bullet Club is mine. Cody, be that heel in WWE. But before Cody can be heel, he has to be WWE champion. So congratulations, Cody Rhodes, on being now a 2-time WWE champion. And I wish I could close out Talk for Glory on that, but I can't, because the Beast is back. Guys, let's just say New Jersey, or as a good brother of mine thought it was Nashville. Let's say they just came unglued. Some cheers, some boos, some getting up and leaving immediately. Me personally, in that moment, I was hyped to hear Brock Lesnar's music and hyped to see Brock Lesnar. But then, just as I was hyped, in about 5 seconds, maybe even less, I remembered everything that went on. And the first thing I thought was, this isn't best for business. The second thing I thought was, in WWE, what do we need Brock Lesnar for? Like, what do we genuinely need him for? Oh, we need that monster. You have Braun Breaker. You have Bronson Reed. You have Jacob Fatu. Like, nobody in the last 15, 20 hours can explain to me what is it that we need Brock Lesnar for in 2025. We don't need a dominant part-timer. We have Roman Reigns. We don't need an absolute badass. We have Braun Breaker. Again, we don't need a monster. We have Bronson Reed. We don't need someone that looks like a goddamn tank. We have Jacob Fatu. So, Brock Lesnar coming back, I'm happy for the people that enjoyed it. Me personally, couldn't give a fuck. Wish he stayed away. But let's end it on a good note. One more time, I want to give a special thanks to the revolutionary, the architect, the visionary, Seth freaking Rollins. Thank you for ending a CM Punk World title reign before it started. Thank you for avenging Drew McIntyre. Thank you for avenging Jeff Hardy. And who knows, maybe by the end of this, maybe Seth Rollins has just entered the talks for Superstar of the Year. But now, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed SummerSlam. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. What's next? I don't know. SummerSlam is kind of how Talk for Glory ends the summer. But I do know that there's other shows going on. I know there's tournament finals that are coming on. Maybe I'll do gameplay. Maybe I might do a review. Maybe I might have a guest and we just talk about one of these tournaments finals. Maybe. Just maybe. But guys, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone that will be commenting. Give me your thoughts. What was your favorite match? Maybe your favorite match is in night 1 and I just didn't pay attention to it. But hope you guys stay safe. Have a great day and or night. Enjoy Monday Night Raw. And one more time, thank you, Seth Rollins. And guys, drop a like, drop a sub. Comment down below your favorite wrestler. Who do you think is having a great year so far? And most importantly, enjoy wrestling.